Amphibia's final arc continues with Sashas Angels and Olm Town Road. Episodes that see Sasha and Anne continue to work things out in the midst of war, alongside the return of numerous characters from the past and the introduction to a brand new city within Amphibia's underground. As always, we're going to break down these two segments for all our favorite details that you may have missed. Now, to repeat what I said in my Owl House breakdown, there unfortunately won't be a fan spotlight for Owl House and Amphibia this week, but we're either going to make sure the next ones are twice as long to compensate, or just put an extra spotlight in the next 3 videos we make for both shows. Reason being, I've recently moved and I still need to finish the big animation industry doc I've been working on, and there just wouldn't be room to do a spotlight justice. That being said, thank you for your understanding, thank you for your patience, and now let's dive in. Starting with Sashas Angels. We open in the Rebellion's briefing room, where Sasha and Anne inform Wart what's best. Lago, Croaker, Wally, Maddie, and Toadie? Yeah, Toadie episode! First time he's had a prominent role in an episode without Mayor Toadstool. Anne also appears about the planters in this episode. Sasha informs her soldiers that marauders have stolen their latest shipment of supplies, establishing that yes, there are frogs and even what appears to be toads who have chosen to support neither Andrias or the Rebellion, but instead look out for themselves, embracing the anarchy birthed by Andrias's true colors. In the background of the briefing room, we can see the new sigil for the Rebellion now that Anne has returned, depicting Sasha's scarlet heron sword crossing with Anne's tennis racket, representing that although Sasha is commander, Anne's leading alongside her, the two working together as equals for the first time. I love how despite framing these episodes as an anime war arc, we're still getting those valuable Saturday morning cartoon lessons Amphibia is known for, as this episode is built around Toadie stepping outside of his comfort zone, only wanting to play it safe and remain lookout for the mission, despite those around him cheering him on and believing he's capable of so much more. At the camp for the Marauders, the team stumbles right into a trap, with the enemy greatly outnumbering them. Anne and Sasha manage to retreat, but everyone else is left behind. Anne, in another great display of heart, demands for the two to rescue their friends. But Sasha comes to the conclusion that it'll be better to wait it out, believing there's a good chance Croaker's team will fight their way out. No backup needed. And it isn't worth the risk of getting caught themselves, as then the Rebellion would be out of their 2 leaders. Not only do I love the inclusion of Sasha's theme here to accompany what Anne perceives as her being up to her old ways, at least in the sense that she still doesn't care about the Wartwood frogs, but I also love how they still keep Sasha's usual demeanor. It goes to show that these two are still on different pages. Anne wasn't there for all the trials and tribulations that Sasha and the frogs went through. She has no clue of how deep Sasha's attachment runs or how strong these frogs have become in battle. Sasha definitely does care, but she's well aware of how strong and capable the Wartwood frogs are. Thus, she doesn't see the need to stress over it. Her faith lies in them, but the lack of visible concern makes it seem like Sasha still only views them as a means to an end. This is why communication is key, y'all. The leader of the Marauders turns out to be none other than Barry the Candyman, the Willy Wonka looking ass from Cursed in season 1. If you skipped most of season 1, you're not gonna have a good time. Barry's return here is interesting because, if you look at it, he really was just walking foreshadowing for King Andrias, and overall one of the big themes in Amphibia, that looks can be deceiving, and you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. Aside from sharing Andrias' blue skin, he was introduced as a kind, charming individual who everyone loved, but in reality was a petty, vengeful jerk who cursed Anne and Sprig for bumping into him and accidentally knocking over his berries. Maddie cursed him into a chicken to get even, but turned him back once he aided her candy escapades. Now, he has a sweet tooth for anarchy and wants to sell Croaker's team to Andrias. Also, Brian is amazing and I love him.
I used to be a tax accountant. Now I drink the blood of my enemies and eat dessert for breakfast.
Anne and Sasha have their obligated seasonal sword fight, this time through sparring, which leads them to have their breakthrough conversation. Meanwhile, Toadie struggles to keep his composure after being used as an object to KO Croaker, and once Brian butchers his beloved post-it notes, it's game on. Toadie snaps, giving himself a rather extreme makeover with his bare hands and fighting back against the Marauders. This felt like a good way to highlight some of our Wartwood faves for a final time. Croaker as the leader is amazing in itself. Lago gets to put those muscles to good use, loose. Maddie uses her spells, and Wally gets his hands on some boom shrooms. Brilliant work all around. Toadie fights Brian in a way that mirrors how Grime and Sprig fought in the pilot reel. Wally blows up the place just as he did Toad Tower, and Anne recognizes that she should hear Sasha out, even when tough calls have to be made. And as Barry turns into a chicken once more, he has a fitting end as a victim of cannibalism. Olm Town Road seems to open shortly after Sashas Angels, with everyone gathered in Sasha's war room. Sasha expresses concern that, despite their streak of victories lately, there's no guarantee this will all end well, so long as they don't have a proper plan to defeat King Andrias and stop his invasion. The suggestions from the frogs are anything, helpful, but the brainstorming session does remind Anne about the face they encountered back on Earth, sharing its hidden message with the rebellion. Seek the Mother of Olms, she will guide you to your destiny. Grime asserts that Olms haven't been seen for decades, hinting at their isolation from the rest of Amphibia. But Sprig and Polly are quick to remind us of Season 2's Coraller's Pass, where they encountered two Olms, Lysol and Angwin. These siblings ended up getting derailed by throwing hands at each other, one of them remarking,
"Mom always liked me best." That's because she had terrible taste.
Which served to foreshadow all the way back then, the Mother of Olms. Sprig remarks he didn't ever expect to be at the Coraller's Pass again, but those who have been keeping up with our breakdown since Season 2, no, we sure did. The gang arrives with the help of Joe Sparrow, last seen rescuing Sasha and Grime from the castle, and Sprig does his best to annoy Lysol and Angwin out of hiding. Lysol and Angwin confirm that the Mother of Olms exists. She's the oldest and wisest Olm in all of Amphibia, and is the keeper of ancient secrets and prophecies. Prophecies, you say? Anne and Sasha plead with the Olms to take them to the Olm city, Proteus. But the twins are rather wary of such a notion due to being banished after an instance where they argued on Night Watch, leading to them being distracted and enabled a swarm of troglodytes to sneak past them and nearly destroy the city. Sasha argues that one mistake shouldn't have sealed their fate, and alongside Anne, convinces them that revealing the path to Proteus will be giving a helping hand in saving the world. Thus, they would have to be forgiven by the other Olms. Along the way, Sprig observes the Olm language, which appears throughout this episode, spelling out 3 different signs. One that reads, "Steve's a jerk," another that welcomes people to the city, another that reads farewell, and one near the Mother of Olms' lair that reads, "Home of our Mother Olm." Proteus is absolutely beautiful. Like the temples, it reminds me a lot of a Zelda location, or the underground city from Attack on Titan, but with cooler colors and for giant talking gnomes instead of people. Because of Andrias' mining, the drill has been causing earthquakes which have slowly devastated Proteus, sunlight creeping in as a result, which of course is capable of severely burning the Olms. The introduction of Proteus' guardian, Proteus, throws a major wrench into Anne and Sasha's plans. Wanting to keep the Olms safe from the rest of the world, believing they're better off keeping to themselves, she lives by the sentiment ignorance is bliss, denying Lysol and Angwin a second chance, and even going as far to deny the existence of the drill, chalking things up to natural earthquakes, which is just reckless leadership at that point, leading your people into certain doom over something that could have easily been prevented. But with the Olms being blind, relying on sound and scent, it's easy to deny what you literally can't see. Everyone comes together to stop Andrias' robots and the drill, leading to a big sacrificial moment with Lysol and Angwin, when all hope seems lost. I've been a big fan of the action lately in the show. It makes Amphibia sort of the all-encompassing Saturday morning cartoon. Luckily, Lysol and Angwin survive, but Proteus refuses to budge on any stance, despite the collateral damage of the drill, alongside an injured Lysol and Angwin sitting right there in front of her face. You can't see, but you can smell, lady. Smell the metal. Or can all you smell is your bullshit? Sasha tells off Proteus, who's rather impressed by it. Telling off world leaders gets you everywhere when you're Sasha Waybright. And with a change of heart after being humbled, Proteus decides to take everyone to see the Mother of Olms, bringing the episode to a close. But pause and crank up the brightness on those doors, you'll see a depiction of the Calamity Trio, Anne, Sasha, and Marcy, armored up and powered up. There's only a handful of episodes left, and we are approaching this final battle faster than ever before. And I suppose leading up to that moment, it's all but certain Marcy and Sasha will become reconnected to the stones. How? We'll just have to wait and see. But as always, these are just my thoughts, and I'd love to hear yours. What do you think? Which episode did you enjoy more this week? And what do you think is going to go down as we enter the final episodes of the series? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and keep the conversation going at Roundtable Vids and at Ostrich Thoughts on both Twitter and Instagram. If you enjoyed this video, please throw it a like and subscribe to the Roundtable for more great cartoon content. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have an awesome day. See ya!